Hello everyone, it's Hydroneer, and today we are going to build the biggest farm possible in Hydroneer,
or to where it becomes barely playable.
where we are starting on this relatively hilly farm plot where there are massive holes not just on the left side but also a channel on the right. I may have gotten a little gung-ho while I was searching for artifacts last time. We found them, they're here, but now I want to make a farm on this massive plot, which has an interesting reason behind it. At the beginning of the game, I accepted a quest for a soup bowl requiring tomatoes. Simple enough, but that guy has been waiting for his soup for 67 hours of gameplay, so I think it's about time I get back to him. He's a simple man and may have actually aged quite a bit while he saw my empire grow from this small little Ember's Cradle mine plot into the Gigaforge factory, spewing out tons upon tons of valuable resources, utilizing jewel compressors along with tier 1, 2, and 3 miners
To get an infinite amount of valuable resources, making us a millionaire.
But he saw a different future for us, a simpler one not based around utterly and completely destroying the land, but instead one based around cultivating and growing food to feed the villagers. So let's right our wrongs and make the biggest farm we can. Starting by answering the simple question of how do I even farm? This is the only place that I can buy seeds at, where we have our tomatoes, carrots, trowel, and sickle, which I imagine I probably want to buy one of all of those. Looks like the carrots are 180 compared to the tomatoes at 130, but seems like everybody's asking for tomatoes, so I'm gonna stick with just buying a few of those. A seed mill to make seeds out of our grown plants. Cooking pot to make the stuff that the villagers want, because I guess they don't like raw tomatoes. A knife to cut those up. Stove to cook them. And bowls, I guess, to serve it up to them. That is all we have to work with. Since if I wander over here, there is a completely different currency that I don't even have access to unless I give the villagers bowls of stuff to eat, which bars us from decorative plants or trees, a sprinkler system. Oh shoot, I have to water these.
I did not think about that, but that's a very short-term future me problem.
An automatic dicer, different varieties of stuff I can sell. Seed boxes, watering can, vegetable basket, and plant pot. So all barred by needing to do errands for the villagers.
Luckily, I have more than enough funds to purchase our starting kit for gardening. The real question is, how does one even begin to garden?
Luckily, the village where I buy stuff is right there, and our farm plot is coincidentally right around the corner. Let's start by getting our trusty rake and trying to make this land not as horrendously unlevel as it is currently.
And I've already made things worse somehow. I love gardening.
This should be more than enough flat land, leaving only 2 left to fill in because I kind of want to show the process of raking and getting it to be all one level. So in theory, you can just go up to it and it's like, hey, I want you to be level. You'll be level also. But then you get to these tall ones, and it's like, this one will let me go level. This one also. This one wants to make it a full block. I don't want that. Then you get the ones that are in the weird middle ground where you have to kind of like move around until you find the right spot. There it is. Go. Oh. And that pushes it over from the one next to it. Okay, well anyway, now we're stuck with this open hole, so kind of did the same thing. Grab dirt, put it in, more dirt, more in, even more. You think that's good. Is it going to be good? No. Of course it won't. So we get more dirt, put it in until it's mostly full. And then we hope, yes. And we have our flat platform. So now that we have a reasonable farming plot to mess with,
Let's see if we can figure out how to make spots for the plants to go.
I trowel it. Oh, is this just a superficial trowel? I wonder. Well, ooh, I can put a lot of these. How many seeds are in a pack is the real question. Oh,
There's only 1 tomato seed in there, which means I have a grand total of 2 tomato seeds. Not a great start, and I have way too many spots to plant, but we gotta start somewhere. While we wait for the plants to grow, I may as well grab some water since it is not so conveniently sourced from the ocean, which is on the complete other side of the farm plot. This is just our starter farm plot, so I hope I find a better solution for watering the plants.
For the meantime, does it take a different color? No. So maybe they were already watered. Well, we have tomatoes planted. They're not screaming like they're not growing. So that's farming. I guess I may as well utilize the full extent of our farm plot, so let's just add a bunch of holes. This should definitely be more than enough holes for my purposes, considering that I need to get a plant for every single one of them. The main issue is I have zero idea how many seeds I actually bought, so in reality there's no way
to know how many seeds I actually need, so let's get a boatload of them and load them in the back of the truck so I can just back them up to the buying platform and purchase all of them at the same time,
without having to pick them up twice. Like if I placed them on here, bought them, picked them up, that would just be needless. But what I'm doing right now, I would also have to pick them up since there's a bunch of holes and I don't really think I can maneuver my vehicle
directly over the crop plots. So let's grab our nifty little bucket
and try to relocate all the tomato seeds into it. Wait,
I know I bought more tomato seeds than that.
Did they all stack? Is this more than one tomato seed though? Oh, it is. Okay, so I actually don't need to worry about
using the bucket to transport the seeds. They just compact decently together.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Not having to run back and forth. So let's buy an unhealthy amount of tomatoes. This should hopefully be enough. And fortunately, it looks like some of them haven't stacked, so I'm quite concerned that this may get a little laggy when I get in here. Surprisingly, actually no, like how much do all those cost?
Ooh, that definitely hurts a little bit, but will be totally worth it when we have a full field of tomatoes. Based on that cost, it also means we have 785 seeds, so we'll at least know if we have more or less than that many planting spots. I've also noticed that the packs have around 10 seeds in each of them, with a little seed count indicator on the side. So we'll be doing a lot of walking back and forth. I don't think I fully realized till now how many bags of seeds we truly have. I keep pulling from this stack, but it never ends. Oh, there's the end.
The most unfortunate thing about the tomatoes is that no matter how much you try, you cannot get them inside a bucket because you drop it, it's in there. It looks kind of in there, but it isn't. Don't know why that's a thing, hence why I have our truck parked on top of the tomatoes. Surprisingly, it actually is being lifted by them, so I'm kind of scared of what kind of GMOs are in these tomatoes. Luckily,
I'm not the one eating them.
A short time later, and the tomato armory has been built with a slightly advantageous factor of I can tell when I miss a spot because it needs water, which I've done a pretty good job of getting all them. As it slowly ticks through, I think we can actually see them degrading as they go. So now that the tomatoes are in, they kind of need water, which means I need to set up some sort of irrigation system somehow without having access to a sprinkler. Luckily, I have some pipes situated at our forge that I can send into the conveyor to be dropped into our truck.
As long as I can get out of here, which it appears I am stuck. Luckily, that's unstuck.
Oh, and that's a time skip. I can unstuck up there and I pop down here. That is actually a lot of time save. Which brings us down to the bottom where there's a bunch of conveyors, old funnels, some pipes that I can actually use for the irrigation, and some other exchange stuff, but mainly the pipes. So if we just send all that junk on the conveyor to go to the surface, we can clean up all this clutter, making our refinery area look a whole lot better. Surprisingly appearing to be all inside the truck. Is it laggy? Okay, a little bit. That's not too bad. It's all in there, all jumbled mess. And the truck is hopping. That's actually a new one. I haven't seen this before. It's excited and ready to go. But on second thought, I think I should actually turn these into scrap, since I really don't know what I'll use them for, and it's just easier if I buy them new and get the exact quantities. Luckily, the scrapyard is truck accessible, despite it still jumping like a madman. Yeah, it even jumps while I'm outside of it. I have no idea. Oh, and it stopped. And it's all in water. So we got a lot of issues, but these being our way will not be one for long. Thanks to the power of fire. Oh, apparently I've done that to 100 items. Oh! No. What was back here? Oh no. That's bad. I don't want to hear from you. So let's break down what just happened. Everything in the back of the truck was scrapped. No! Is that the money also? That's the money also. Oh no. Oh no. So I had about 50 nukes, 50 levers, the conveyors from the other mine, all the pipes, the funnels. I'm not too worried about those. I had mine tokens, 17 million coins. Okay, again, we don't need to hear that from you. Luckily, I think all my tier 3 tools were out. Oh, but that hurts. That's gotta be a massive scrap cube. Well, lag's gone. We're kind of broke. I didn't think you could scrap coins, but apparently you can. So we're back to being poor. Luckily, all of my artifacts were not loaded on there along with this chest, which I could sell for 60-something thousand coins. But honestly, the treasure chest is cool. Not selling it. We're keeping it. Real question is, how much is this scrap worth? Or can we even sell it? 333,000? Whoa. Who buys this? So we may actually not be broke. I can fix this. First, I do want to run to the farming town and sanity check that my coins aren't just sitting in the bucket. Do you have my money? No. I did officially scrap them. That's honestly hilarious. So I need to make my way to one of my mining plots to melt it down, turn it into an ingot, and sell it to a jeweler. But we can definitely work with that, especially if I can turn scrap metal into a sword. Oh, wait. Drake was here. This is definitely some kind of Easter egg I have no idea about, but we have some damage control to take care of, so let's just ignore it. Back to where it all began, and we had nothing. I just need a crucible. So can we melt you down into a bar? Yes, we can. We'll pour that out. We'll try to heat it up, but first let's already double the value by turning it into a bar. That's interesting. That looks sufficiently hot. I really do hope we can make a sword, because that'll boost the profit by 30%. And it is, yes, scrap sword. 865,000 isn't 17 million, but more than enough for our needs. Is the whip and stock market up? Ooh, I see a little bit of green. Yes, it knows that we needed it. Okay, it's barely green. I will gladly take that little boost, getting a little bit of our money back. So we can finally get back to our initial goal of making an irrigation system. So I'm thinking we need a cloudium intake water pipe. We'll need one elbow to make it go upwards, another one to go horizontal, a couple straight ones to get the additional height, and then even more of them to go from the ocean to where we're actually planting the stuff. Then some T's to have the water dripping out. Since I don't have sprinklers, I think just having a drop of water should do kind of the same thing. Wait a second. Oh no, I just thought of something. I also had the tomato soup mission back there. Okay, so let's buy that. I need a map to see if the quest is on there. No, I think he's gone. Yeah, he was stationed over at Ember's Cradle, so we'll have to get another tomato soup recipe from him in the future. A little time has passed, and he still is eluding me, but we now have a hydroponic system ready and going. If we follow the extremely long pipeline over to the ocean, we just have a water pump and eventually 5 straight ones that we can put some water filtration hooks on to prevent any equipment that could break from breaking later on in the line, because I imagine sprinklers would break. So that goes all the way from over there to where our crops are. Probably should have started closer to the ocean. Unfortunately, there is a issue. Water drips out goes down. Why is that not watered? I don't know. If you know, I'd love to know, but I don't know. This one's watered because there's no tomato there. Oh no! And I lost all my tomatoes also. I didn't even think of that. Oh, there were at least like 400 tomatoes there.
No use worrying about the past. We have an irrigation to solve right now.
So my theory was water goes from ocean, comes over here, falls out a pipeline, and waters it. That's not happening. And if the watering did work, it'd flow out. I'd put a T here, a T there, one to go to this side, one to go to the other, and then it'll be dropping for all of them. The only other thing that I think of trying is if I try to collect up some water. Can I water them? Okay, I can water them by hand. I guess I'm just going to be here attempting to water the plants. Oh, the things I'm doing for a random villager who actually doesn't even want tomatoes anymore. So, like, why am I even doing this?
2 minutes of watering later.
Wait, hold up a second. How are these already dry again? Yes, I haven't even gotten through a day and they're already turning dry. What? And I can't even water it. How? What? The water just beads off. Is that the same for all of them? Yeah, oh, that one kind of worked. How about this one? Like, barely. Yeah, it's bouncing off the leaves. So how about this? Before I lose all hope in the automatic farming, it seems like these drops are a very small radius, which I was probably just landing where there was no plant. But if I instead hook this up the way I initially intended before getting disheartened, connecting them all up so that there's a huge stream of water coming out of them, which looks like it's actually marginally working. So yeah, we're just going to run with this, have it be very inefficient, and get a few of them growing, and call it there. Because yeah, I can't be bothered to be watering them if in the span of less than a day, they already need to be watered again. There's way too many of them for that. While all those are automatically growing, let's make a quick run to pick up another scythe, because that was one of my gardening tools I did accidentally scrap, and when it's time to harvest, I will need one of them. Luckily, our scrap money is coming in clutch and funding our farming endeavors entirely. Let's also go hunt down some quests, preferably tomato ones since I have a lot of them. This should hopefully be a gardening one. Yes, a soup bowl of 2 weight cut tomatoes. Well, isn't that convenient? Looks like this guy is actually walking towards me. Slightly heavier tomato bowl. Wait, hold up. He's got a mission? Aw, now you want a necklace?
Nah, you know deep down you want that tomato bowl. You've been waiting ages for it. I will have it for you. You just need to know that you want it also. Everybody else wants tomatoes, so I have no doubt he'll come to his senses.
Including this guy right here, who honestly has his own tomatoes and they're bigger and greener than mine. So, don't know why you're having me cook this for you, but I appreciate your business. Bringing us to a grand total of 4 requests just in time because our tomatoes are ready to harvest. Glorious red tomatoes and an abundant supply at that. Yeah. Oh, wait. I can only hold one at a time? No. That's a bit cumbersome. Oh, what? I can't even put it in the pot? Oh, because I need to dice them up. If that's the case, let's optimize our setup by relocating to the other side and getting some more space. Just need to pickaxe the wall down a little bit until I can bring a rake through to make it flat. Here's a cute little cubbyhole that I think we can work with. Now back to where we were. Is this a weight of 2? Nah, that's a weight of 1. So 1 more tomato. 2.5, close enough. Do I need to dice them up? Okay, I guess I dice them up. I put the diced ones in the pot, and then hopefully they don't glitch through. Yes. Put them over top of our stove. Do they just turn into liquid, or do I need to add water? That's looking concerningly hot. Actually really hot on the inside. Nothing's quite happening, so let's try that water. There's our water. They've been sitting on the stove for a little bit. Aren't burnt. There's water. And I think we're on to something. I'd like to think we are, but the tomatoes aren't really doing much of anything. Maybe I need to add them to it after the water, like that. What if I add a whole tomato in there? Does it like that?
I'll leave it sit for a bit and see if that does the trick.
As for our request, looks like a weight of 3.5, 2, 2, and 3.5. So 2 3.5s and 2 2s. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Tomatoes still aren't cooked. How about if I take it off? Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. Well, if I re-drop them in there, can I chop them finer? Oh, wait. I can have them? What?
Just pretend you didn't see me drop the tomatoes on dirt. If anything, it adds some seasoning.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to chop up a ton of tomatoes and see what honestly happens. Because if I just have more tomatoes, I mean, I have a ton of tomatoes over there. Oh, and it did something. What? That's yellow? That doesn't seem right.
But we are definitely going to roll with it and pretend it is right.
And what do I got? I got soup with cut tomatoes. But they asked for a soup bowl with 2 weight cut tomatoes. I'd say I carried out that. So let's do that 3 more times. There's our second one, and I think I figured out the trick. So you get tomatoes, 4.25, that's more than enough. Run over here, drop it, get some water, pour it into the pot, let the water do its thing, get a little bit warm. Looks like it's turning a little tinge. So then I can go over here, drop tomatoes in, and it should hopefully turn. If it doesn't, I'll take out tomatoes, drop them back in, and it should work. As for how I'm processing the tomatoes, I'm just kind of running, picking it from the nearest plant. Then I just chop, and luckily, whenever you pick it up and plop tomatoes on top of each other, they just combine.
Which that is not enough. So we go grab yet another tomato, straight from the vine.
Oh, fell on the ground. 5-second rule, chop it up, add it to the pile. They won't know the wiser. Soup still hasn't turned, so we'll take it out, drop it in, and then there we go. So it doesn't turn into soup unless you take the tomatoes out and re-add them. The more you know. We got our 4 bowls of tomato soup. Let's go find those quests. Since I made them all above the highest weight requirement, I don't really need to worry about who I give what bowl to. So, our little garden guy, I have some soup. Good soup. Take the soup. Oh, you just chucked a bowl on me? Oh, you're paying me.
Don't worry about it then. Check the bowl all you want. If you're paying me some good tokens, I will gladly take the service.
As for other requests, you should. Yeah, she's right in there. I got soup. Good soup. Just for you. And you chucked the bowl on me. Is this just how common courtesy is? You just chuck the bowl at a person? Can I carry the... Oh, I can't carry the token in the bowl? Oh, I gotta make 2 trips? Things I do to feed these guys soup. And you actually... I didn't think of that. They just downed that bowl in no time. How? That was like a matter of seconds. They must have been starving. My good sir, can I interest you in a bowl of soup as you ponder the volcano? I guess you can chuck the bowl at me, but at least you didn't chuck it in the water, right? I don't think that would have been good. And I wonder if that bowl is how he got his hair cut. Like, he did pay me almost more than the other 2 combined, because he gave me 42. That brings us to 90. Oh, and is that another quest I see? Yes, it is. What? You want carrots? I guess you are giving me 131. Fine, I'll do it. We found our last target. Last bowl of soup. Are you a bit more generous? Looks like 44 tokens. Yes. And with this last addition, we have 134 tokens, which from a quick look around is absolutely nothing. Sprinklers, 2100. Automatic dicer, 480. Veggie stacker, 156. A singular onion, 290. I can't even afford a single onion, but I can afford a watering can, which I will take. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Worth it though. 4 times the water compared to a pail.
is a huge improvement that I much appreciate.
I'm also going to grab a few carrot seeds, since apparently some people want carrots now that they saw that I was farming stuff. But before I was farming, tomato this, tomato that, that's all I want. What happened to that? All of a sudden I'm growing tomatoes and they want carrots. Luckily it looks like these carrots are stacking, a lot better than tomatoes. I'm still salty about accidentally scrapping them. But we now have some carrots. As for planting the carrots, I assume they're a single harvest item, so luckily we know where the water is going to flow down, so I can use the sickle, remove the plants that are currently in the good spots, preferably along the edge so I can keep an eye on them, and go ahead and plant the carrots in their place. While these carrots are growing, I did find another quest from a villager of culture. 12.5 weight cut tomato soup. I can work with that. I have tomatoes. Maybe a little dirty from sitting on the ground. Once I take the cut tomatoes and add them to the soup, they won't be none the wiser. The only question is if I can keep a straight face whenever they're downing it right in front of me. My good ma'am, you ordered the tomato soup with a side of dirt, right? Cool. On the same page. I'm gonna be out of here. Oh, and looks like they're gone also? I actually don't know where they went. That's mildly concerning because where could they have hid? This is a driveway. Oh, I guess they could have just walked past me. That's very plausible. With that last order, we are now at 246 tokens. And my good sir, you are next. Carrots are on the way. Maybe a day or two. They don't grow overnight. Unless they do and I'm just a bad farmer. Did they grow overnight? No. They grew, just not enough. And nobody else has a quest that wants any farming items. I guess we'll see how level we can get all this by the time I get another quest. That looks quite a bit nicer. Nice and level. Definitely doubled our size of crops we can place. Only concern is how I'm going to navigate filling in this trench. So I'm going to keep expanding out this way as we find more free time. But as of right now, the carrots have actually grown. Not sure about quests, but carrots are done. Which apparently, 2? Is it producing multiple carrots? Do I not have to replant them?
No, you do have to replant them. Just for some reason, there's a stray carrot left in the ground that you have to scythe away to plant other ones. I didn't know at the time. It was confusing because carrots, usually you pick them and then they're gone out of the ground, but not here.
So I guess let's grab some of these carrots and put them in our pail to bring over to our stove. I imagine this should probably be enough. Looks like 10.5 pounds with the quest calling for 5. So we can actually save a few of these for later. 5.05, that should work nicely. Need 5 of tomatoes. That should work nicely. 6.6 pounds. Did I add water to there? Does not appear so. Oh, because my carrots are in there. Oh, we'll add them preemptively to the pot. Snag our little bit of water. And get those cooking. Do I need to chop the carrots? Oh yeah, I can chop those outside of it. I don't think that's intentionally meant to happen, but... Oh, one more carrot down at the bottom. Chop that guy up. Have it levitate in midair. That's how you know the carrot's good. There we go. Looks like we got some carrots, some tomato. Does it tell me the weight preemptively? No. And it actually doesn't spill when it tips over. That's good. Where's our bowl? Hot soup, hot soup. Soup ready. Bowl. But with that now made, we can get a whole ton of tokens. My good sir, it's been about 3 days, but I will take my payment. Still not enough to do anything though. Oh, hold up, wait a second. I think we got a bite. We got some missions. Specifically the lad who started all this. My good sir, it is great to see you are hungry again. Ooh, that tomato soup, I have got it perfected. Don't you worry. We will not accidentally burn your request this time. Which makes me wonder, do we know his name? Edgar. Good old Edgar, time to get him some soup. We'll make sure to add a little bit extra weight just for Edgar. That should be nice and hot. Sweet, made the soup. Hot soup coming through. Everybody get out of the way. Poured. It's not the usual offering of our farm, but same day shipping just for Edgar. Anytime he asks for any food, we will get it to him. Same day guaranteed. Edgar, are you ready for the best bowl of tomato soup in your life?
You better be, because this is my 5th bowl of tomato soup. I've perfected it. I reassure you, there is minimal dirt in your soup. You gave me money, so you must like it. Is that right? Oh, moonwalk. That's good. I say it approves. He likes it.
I'll await your next order. Until then, the farm must grow, which means accepting a whole bunch of quests to build up our token supplies, so we can eventually afford sprinklers, an automatic chopper, compressor for the vegetables, a wider variety of vegetables to sell, and ultimately the behemoth that is the hydrocropper. It's able to harvest crops and replant them, which would be huge. Not very cheap at the cost of 2,600 tokens, but we will get there. So between cooking up a storm for missions, and bringing the finished stuff to the villagers, keeping the plants watered and growing whatever they need, and clearing out the land, making it flat as I can just with the classic good old pickaxe and rake, hopefully taking out that hill and flattening the rest of this terrain. I'll see you in a little bit when we have the funds. Quite a bit of time has passed and we have made some insane progress. Starting with, the entirety of one half of the field has been flattened beautifully. The other half, yeah, that hill is still there, but we will get to it because we've been more busy with the crops. I splurged and got some corn crops. We have some carrots growing, onions in the ground, broccoli, and a single beet plant. So we have all the plants. We're growing them ourselves, running over to here, turning some into seeds, and continuously replenishing our crops. So our rudimentary field is doing quite good, getting us resources to cook up into soups we're delivering. And luckily, as I've been delivering them, the rewards have also been increasing. Like this one right here, it is 46 weight cut tomatoes. A lot of tomatoes, but worth 487 farm yield tokens, which will heavily improve our collection rate. Now, if I take these 4 different soups and dash around the map to deliver them to said villagers, he wants, what did you want? 46 tomatoes. Person of culture. I love that errand. I had a ton of tomatoes, and luckily, you won them for a decent price. Sweet. This is the biggest profit we've made. Because I'm used to seeing about like 80 per quest, and that kind of sucks and is really slow. But after delivering all of these bowls, while accepting some insanely valuable quests and ignoring the low value ones, we can get all the tokens from them, bring us to a grand total of 896 just from these 4 bowls, which can be added to our secret stash tokens, bring us all the way to 2,600. Enough to buy something. As you saw, I already bought some corn, onion, broccoli, and beetroot, so we never need to buy those again. They were quite expensive, 430 being the most for the beetroot. The other ones were a little bit less, but the villagers requested them and I kind of felt obligated to supply them. We have them now, so now we are focused on automation. I'm looking at this sprinkler. I need this. This will increase the number of crops that we can water, and that would be huge. I'm not worried about stacking them, but an automatic dicer, that could be huge also. 2,580. Ooh, barely. I will take that. That is huge. We can start our automation. It has begun. And realistically, the only thing that I will be buying is just a ton upon tons of sprinklers, because I just need one chopper. Don't really need any of these baskets or pots. These are all decorative plants. We don't really care about that. And I feel like I'm organized enough using the ground for my tasks. So with a single sprinkler, our farm can grow exponentially. because we've made a decent amount of progress. All this area back here wasn't previously flat, and now we have half of the area farmable land. Actually, I'd say over half. Yeah, there's not much left to do, given there's a big hill and a few holes, but besides the point. Back over to our farm, it has been working quite nicely. Very manual though, since each seed I plant is a one-time use, so I have to scythe the parent plant after every harvest, and there's a very limited amount of viable growing spots. Despite that, I've got quite a bit of corn, carrots, and tomatoes stockpiled for quests or converting to seeds. This all changes with the sprinkler though. If I mount it to this pipe, it whirs to life and there are quite a bit more viable planting spots. So our throughput can be much more per area on the farm plot. The main limiter is still getting more tokens for sprinklers, so with our abundant array of vegetables, let's get some more of them. Quite a bit of time has passed and some serious progress has been made. For starters, we have cleaned up our initial farming plot. All the tomatoes that were just scattered around in between all the nodes, they are now removed and stored in our new basket storage system. These baskets are crazy useful, because usually I had to grab a seed, run over to where I want to plant it, I'd run out of the pack, run back over where I have the seeds made in the seed maker, and run back and forth. But at the small cost of 20 or so tokens, I can pick up seeds and run over there with all of them just placed in the middle and go planting away. Of course, getting enough for carrots, corn, broccoli, onions, and beetroot, which have all blossomed to insane quantities. Such as onions, we have 151 pounds, so more than enough for so many more orders. And we're looking pretty good at that. All thanks to the slight changes of streamlining the process. We did get a bunch of tomatoes as a result, but we will eventually use them. As for our use of sprinklers, we have 1 and 2 of them bought, working on a small plot. As you can see, there is a bunch of nodes and all the corn that has grown nice, tall, and beautiful. Starter plot, it's okay, could be better. Sprinklers is where it's at. The only thing that I want to test now is, from looking at them, We can see this middle one, like this corn looks a little bit tiny. Kind of a similar pattern with all the ones in the middle column. But then on the side, like that kind of looks like a big corn, and all of them kind of follow. So my theory is whenever we have a plant having direct line of sight to the sky, the things grow more. While this one, the pipe's directly over it, so then shading it and it gets smaller. That's just a feeling, but we do have a test. If I harvest this left column and this right column, combine them together, and figure out how the weight per plant, and do the same for the middle, we can figure out if that's actually true. And then also do the same for the sprinkler to see if that is a lot better or not. So let's grab our scythe and get to work. There's all the outer ones harvested, and I do need to be a little bit careful for the magnet not to accidentally pick up the ones on the stems, because I think it is strong enough to pull them off and harvest it for me.
There's all the corn consolidated for the side rows, so now let's head out and do it for the middle one.
Consolidate them all into this relatively small pile and do the same for the sprinklers. The only concern I have is there is a lot of corn in there and a pit they can fall into, because I imagine this guy stays levitating in the air. So I guess this is actually going to work. The real question is, by the time I get to the other end, are they all going to fall? I don't think they actually will. Last one to go, and nope, they're just going to float there. We got a bunch of floaters. Nothing that our magnet can't fix, though. Only question is, where do I even have space for this? Oh no, I grabbed my tomatoes. Oh, that's lost. Oh, never mind. My tomato pile is here. All good. Clean up the last few of these. And now you can see why the sprinklers are so overpowered. This is an extremely small amount of area with so many plants yielding a lot of crops. None of them actually looking particularly small. I mean, this one looks kind of small, but all of them, like, that is a massive piece of corn right there. How much is that? 1.8 pounds. That is a hefty piece of corn. So let's just chop them all up, which is honestly the most tedious part of the process. But once you have them all in the small bits, it is quite satisfying. And that's because they all want to compact together. They yearn for it. They want to. And sometimes it's just not as eventful as you hope. But it's also satisfying because it goes from a big old stack of corn to chopped up bits cleanly sitting in the dirt, then to one singular pile. All we have left now is the sprinkler stack into this and then that, which comes to a weight of 166. And by going through and counting every single one of those holes, there are 54 planting spots. So per plant, that's 3.08 pounds per plant. Then our next best should be the sun-exposed corn on these simple plots, coming to a total of 137.24 with only 41 plant spots. So that actually comes to 3.38 pounds per plant. Actually better than the sprinkler. That doesn't seem right. I guess there could be some fluctuations since maybe the sample size isn't quite big enough, because the total here and the total on the one I'm holding should have been roughly the same since they're both exposed to the sun, minimal intervention from blockage. But I guess the true test will be how much less is the blocked one. Because if this one's actually not an issue, then I don't know what I'm thinking. 54.68, that seems quite low. This one is only 20 plants, so 2.73 pounds per plant. By far our worst. So I do think there's some merit to them being blocked by the sun, and I'm thinking that the other air with the sprinkler doing less and not the same is just maybe a sample size issue. Maybe there were just a lot of high rolls on this harvest and then low rolls on this one. Or maybe this pipe was blocking the plant and it wasn't happy with it. But considering that the sprinklers cover quite a big radius, these are actually too close to each other. Because another thing I learned is if you don't have high water pressure, like let's say we're doing bare minimum, they don't cover very far. They only cover about 8 plants around the sprinkler. But then if we put a little charge bar in there, It boosts to about a 2 radius, so it can go out this way. I should actually move this sprinkler 3 pipes down, and I think that would optimize it. So we found some important stuff here. I'm still going to go with a sprinkler plot for our end boss of big farms, which is right behind us. I've been working on it a little bit, putting down the legwork as I was doing a quest to get funding for even more stuff. I have a drop chute for the crops to go in, with the harvest area being to the left and tentatively to the right. I'm still working on the trenching a little bit over here because it is still a tedious process. If it's too low, I can't get a rake in there to consistently get the level to get bumped up. So I need to go grab a little bit off the side, put some dirt nodules down there, and then it's just kind of like, oh, you want to go up a level? Sure, we'll allow you to do that. Then I just smooth out the sides that I dug from, and we continue with that for the rest of the areas that are one level too low. The hill's been chunked out a little bit. I kind of took a few nibbles, can't take much more out without the intervention of nukes, but considering I haven't covered this area with plants yet, that's not really an inherent need yet. So what the plan is, we have the water go in, we have it tee off into these separate chutes where we have it being sprinkler run with a 4 spacing in between, have as many plants as we want, completely filling this entire area, having charge bars to increase the radius of their effect, and then buying the harvester with the tokens so that we can quickly plant and harvest all the things that pop up here. So we have 1 row, 2 rows, 3, 4 I think we can work out, but then we have our massive crater that starts causing issues. And I don't think there's any way to actually fix this because you saw how much effort it took to shovel in the dirt. And unless there's a flat surface to put it on, you can't really turn it into a full block. So unfortunately, we won't be able to turn this full area into a farm, but I think having this full area and this area on the left is going to be more enough and look crazy. So that's where the crops are going to grow. So I'll do like tomatoes here, corn here, carrots, have a single crop per aisle. And then after I'm done harvesting all of them and planting the seeds, if I have excess, then I'll take them over here, drop them into the chute that should funnel them down to a conveyor that then lines them up, chops up the crops, lines up the chopped crops, and splits them off into their given area so that they can compress down. Completely automated and beautiful if it works. I haven't tested it yet. As for getting the charge bar, I set up just a small setup. Tier 1 miner mines, put stuff on conveyor, goes up to the sieve where it gets broken down where we hopefully get a charge stone, but then if we don't, we just have it going to a deleter. It just deletes them out of existence. Never happened. We just want our glow bars. So we have everything set up, ready to go. We just need more sprinklers, more pipes, which means more tokens. And in regards to those tokens, we have 3,472. Quite a bit of pocket change to play with, which we can take on over to the farmer's market to do some buying. To start off with, let's just take a look. Baskets, I got one for all the crops. Don't need a watering can. Seed box, huge waste of money. Have all the seeds. Still don't see why I need a stack vegetables to kind of do that themselves. Then we have the cutter, which I only need one of them. Sprinklers, I will be back for them. And decoration is not needed. As for the task board, I already have one of them, and that is a huge improvement. What I'm actually here for is this beast of a unit, the Hydrocropper. 2,680. We have over 3,000. It is ours. Wait, is there a place I can carry these tokens? Preferably somewhere on the Hydrocropper. That looks like a seed holder, but I can hold money. I like it. Ooh, we are in business and not moving particularly fast anywhere. We can raise it up and down and that activates it. Oh, and then we can eject resources with E. I can get behind this. I'm still kind of stuck. Oh, are the coins keeping me stuck here? Oh, they actually are. Coins are not meant to go in there. I'll just keep them over here next to the sprinkler since That's going to be the entirety of my coin expenditures. But let's see what you're all about. What kind of speed are we cooking with? Not fast and not slow. Can't ask for anything more. It's a bit derpy. Yeah, look at that sway. That's quite a bit of tilt whenever you make a turn.
These crops won't know what hit them.
The days of the old are behind us. This setup got us places. It definitely did. May as well also combine all the corn that we just harvested, which can be the last harvest. Bring us up to over 300 pounds of corn. I think we are set. Wait, can I pick up corn in there? I can. Okay. That's going to be easy to transport all this to our new farm area. Since I imagine having all this water is probably not the best for lag, may as well disconnect it indefinitely. Dig up all the holes that were once here. Remove all the pipes, along with the sprinklers, vegetable baskets, scale, cooking stoves, task board, and soup pots. One of which is glitched, and I have no idea how I did that. I had tomato soup, I poured it into a bowl, and now it's just permanent broth of nothingness. I can't pour it out, I can't dump it out. Like if I dump it on the side, it doesn't fall out, defies gravity. So, not sure what to do with that, but we have it. And our starting area is a clean slate. Now on to industry. We can use those pipes to expand our future farming setup, getting us fairly far in setup, not requiring many more pipes to fully realize the mega farm's full capabilities. And we have our cute little cooking area with our stove, mystery stew, that's always going to remain. So we have at least one pot, a task board to keep track of the different errands and do it as needed, a scale to weigh out the stuff, along with all the seeds, our sorters with their designated vegetables in the bottom of funnels to where hopefully they fall off of here, combine with those, and we're good. Only slight little touch is I do need to add the vegetables to the top. So we got tomatoes here. Just gotta chop it down until we get an insanely small piece that we don't really care if we lose. Put it on top to act as a filter, and we are set. So I'm curious if I were to put these down at the bottom of our funnel, and then I put this at the beginning here, does it roll down? Yeah, goes in a funnel. This surprisingly actually works. Goes, gets chopped, was aligned, got aligned again, split off and in the middle, combined. Sweet, it does actually work. Automation is always cool. Just have to do the same for all the different vegetables until all their filters are now assigned. And if there's something that doesn't meet these filters, which it really shouldn't, it can get sent to this seeder here, which is also where I can just take these like, oh, I want more seeds. Boom, more seeds. But that, oh geez, I really didn't need them. I have a bunch of beets. Well, now we have even more. But I do really like this cooking area. You get to cook here. Oh, I need this thing for a certain villager who wants to eat. Sure, why not? Let me consult what I got. I get to pull this out, chippity chop with my cleaver, cook it in the stove, shove it on the back of my truck, and we are good. The only part that I don't like is getting the crops to be the right size that the customer needs. Because on my end, I don't want to give them more and lose it, because then I have less supply to give to more villagers. And I don't want to undercut them, so it's a bunch of chopping down to the right size and combining them until it's right at the bare minimum to satisfy them. I don't see any way around it, so this is just what we have to do. We've got a pretty sick setup. I'm excited for this, a lot better than our old one. Now we just need to get the crops in. Which, moment of truth, does this actually fit in the area I set aside for it? So in theory, oh, it's a little bit, oh, that's tall. We might have to raise it actually too tall. So let's raise this and see if that's an issue. Height has been raised. Only question is, can I squeeze through that area? Oh yeah, look at that. Fits really snugly. But that's definitely clearance. Yeah, look at that. We can make that work easily. And this would all be easier if I just had them all raised. Then you have those slightly less efficient farm tiles because they are shaded by the pipe. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I might change it in the future, but for now we'll keep it like this. Now I just need to get the holes in the ground. We will indeed be here for a bit. So I'll see you then. The deed has been done. Grudgingly, but it is done now. Looks quite insane. We have to do it 1, 2, 3 more times, but that's a future problem because now we have to plant tomatoes since we are short on them and we actually have an insane amount of them. So I'm honestly quite curious how many of these plots we're able to fill up with tomatoes with our current supply. The real question is, where can I put them? I think we just load them into this back area because I don't know why else there would be a shelf. One last seed packet to go. Oh, don't fall. Ah, of course I had to fall. There we go. Kind of precariously put there, but I think we're on to something. The only other place the seeds could go is the top hopper, but to me that seems like that's where the actual finished vegetables go. But we'll soon find out. Tight turn radius, squeeze. There we go. Are we planting? Oh, yes. We're planting. Oh, it's already out. What's? Oh, that's a huge radius. Look at that. Yeah, there's seeds there, seeds there. Yeah, they're all used up. That was easy, like 200, 300-ish seeds. This is going to be insane. Oh, and I've already glitched it into the pipe. Nobody said this would go flawlessly. A little bit of derp is good every now and then. The only final touch needed is these do indeed need their glow bars as a power source. So we can pour it from our crucible, 121,000 pounds. We only need 2 halves of that. Eventually we'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that sucker in there, close her up. And that looks a lot better. Because as you can see, it's 120 going into the power bar. And then after, what are we looking at? 245. Yeah, that's definitely a decent increase. Twice the pressure. So hopefully by the time we get to the other end, it still has this high of pressure. All that's left to do now is sit back and see if it works. Unfortunately, it does look like some of the middle ones aren't getting watered. Looks like they've all evened out, so there's a little bit of a semicircle going with a big dead area in the middle there. All of these aren't accessible, which we can take as an opportunity just to uproot those, since I don't plan on moving the sprinklers any closer. As for the massive dead area, I don't really want to have that going on, so maybe just having a space of 2 in between the sprinklers, because then that increases the coverage to going out that far. Move this one only 2 away, and then there's just a little middle strip there. I'll think on that. In the meantime, let's clear out the seeds that won't ever receive sprinkler coverage since they're on the end. Luckily, we do get the seeds back so I can plant them in the dead areas. With the last of the tomato seeds planted, all we have left to do is to wait for them to grow, which is apparently 30 seconds since that last clip because they are materializing before my eyes. Yep, there they go. Now the other side's going. Okay, that's actually quite insane. These have a quick turnaround. So I guess it only takes about a day for the tomatoes to fully mature. Now all I have to do is wait on little stragglers I had to plant manually. All of the tomatoes look like they have grown and matured, so let's give this thing a shot. I'm not quite sure if it turns them to seeds or if there's any function like that, but I'm hoping it just gives us the raw tomatoes. Ooh, looks like it is just giving us raw tomatoes. They're spewing out the back of it. Oh, am I clipped into something? Oh yeah, that's an issue. Oh, you hate to see your wheel clipped into your hydroponics. Well, unstuck will save us today. But that does make me reconsider the farm layout. Because ultimately right now I have a few straight runs that kind of channel it so that I can have different crops. But ultimately it's in the way and it's making my sprinklers not as efficient as they could be, since there's a certain area directly beneath them that plants aren't growing, and it's just a pain to maneuver through it. But look at all those tomatoes. Oh, No, I'm losing some. Oh yeah, it really doesn't like those pipes. Yep, we need a design change. Looks like we've broken free. I do still... Oh, geez. It does not like driving over top of crops. If we can get the last few of those... There we go. We got all of them. Except for the ones that haven't grown here. Can I tear them down? They're obstinate. Nope. Okay, so if they haven't grown, you can't tear them down.
As for the crops we harvested, we need to unload them.
Oh, which I think will be a concern. Because if we look, that little output chute right there is where I think the tomatoes come out. We can test it. Oh yeah, yep. We don't want to do that. So they come out of this chute, which is way too low. So if we tear out this entire side of our funnel, because I need some way to access the conveyors, which this looks like it's about the right height. And yeah, I can back up the harvester to it. That kind of looks on the money. And then if I output it, oh, it's doing something. Hey, look at all those tomatoes go. It is doing it. And they're going in. Yes, and they're compacting. It's actually working. So I guess that is one way to view it. The right side of the platform is for me to manually use the magnet and drag up items to be chopped, while the left side is for the hydrocropper. Like, can I hop out and have it automatically outputting them still?
No, it appears unfortunately it does stay extended, but it isn't outputting.
Looks like the last of them have flowed through. How many tomatoes do we have? 539 pounds. Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. So we're on to winter design. It's working on the processing end. The farming end is a little bit meh. So what I'm going to do is raise the sprinkler arms to the top and center the sprinklers around this path. Put more holes going this way and get more sprinklers by doing quests. I've already done enough time-lapse for today, so let's just jump through all the phases. At the start of this final build, I had 93 hours gameplay, with the first phase being to raise all of the plumbing up high enough for the hydrominer to go under it. Once that was done, the second phase was to add a hole for every single plant we could dream of, which took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but this is definitely impressive, and pushed my masochism to the limit. But all of them are planted, and it kind of tells a story. You have nice kind of curvy rows as you go, and then there's kind of like a little bit of a sparse period. You can tell that I got a little bit lazy here, and the gap grew a little bit too much, but then we got back on the grind, and nice compact for the rest of it, stayed true to the goal. And now we just need to plant all that and get the sprinklers. With my planting goals being focused on corn, so we will be farming a lot of it to get enough seeds to fill this whole farm with them. Getting enough corn to cover the whole field was not the issue. We had more than enough of it along the way. The issue was our sprinklers. We need so many of them, which means it's time to grind some quests.
Which wasn't too hard at all, just a lot of chopping vegetables, combining a variety of ingredients ranging from tomatoes, carrots, onions, corn, broccoli, and beets, then running the soup bowls to the villagers. I had more than enough of all these vegetables between my starting plot and farming large quantities of tomatoes or carrots here and there. The trend I saw was the high value quests were usually just big quantities of tomatoes or carrots, which makes sense considering they can be bought with the standard currency instead of farm tokens. But if you're smart with your crop management, you can have an infinite supply of token crops also. In total, I completed 51 quests to fund my farming empire, which accelerated as the quests offered larger rewards. My grind was cut short by a near catastrophe though. While I was unloading the hydrocopper, the crops decided to compact together. This was an issue because I was AFK for about half an hour, so there were a lot of carrots, ultimately caused by the belt stopping due to one of the water filters breaking. My spirit was not dampened too much because at the same time I was completing the biggest quest yet, coming to 3,000 tokens, enough to buy the rest of the sprinklers I needed. While in Bridgeport, I got the repair spanners to fix the filters and made a quick run to the farm token shop to buy my final 3 sprinklers in one go. The grind was finally over, so I made my way back to the farm. So let's see what the issue is. One of our water filters are broken, with the other ones not too far behind. But with that, we should be fixed. Oh geez, that's a bunch of lag. I should not have done that. This was an off idea. The entities are now moving. And I'm frozen. Oh, I hope it responds soon. And I guess all I can do now is just wait and hope. Oh, I clicked and I'm good. Oh. Oh? Did something happen? Oh. I guess it just chopped them all up. Yeah, I guess it just got horrendously stuck back here and it actually sorted out, which I'm honestly impressed by. So only thing we have left to do is to fully unload the hydrocropper, then we can add the last few sprinklers to our hydroponic system and plant the entire field and watch it grow. Which brings me to the main issue with farming a huge area in Hydroneer. It takes forever to unload the crops. What I'm unloading right now is probably about half capacity of the field, and it took about 30-ish minutes to unload it. So not very feasible or useful. But here we are. I'm in way too deep now, so I'm committed to see it through to the end. If you ever attempt to do this yourself, I suggest trying to find something small, about one key size on your keyboard, getting something heavy to press it down, and just walking away, letting it do something else, literally anything else, because you don't want to sit here doing this for half an hour. Trust me. There's the last of them unloaded. Took quite a bit of time, about 30 minutes. But let's see how much we got. I mainly harvested corn during that time. 7,600 pounds at 100,000 in cost. So that is not bad at all. Tomatoes, they're kind of the other one that I was farming. We got 5,000 pounds, about $39,000. So we have two crop candidates between tomatoes and corn to fill up the fields with. But first, let's add in the last few sprinklers. I had a semi change of heart, instead doing a row of 3 instead of the 5 wide that I initially planned, because there are limitations to how much you can farm at one time. And doing these 3 rows is kind of at the limit of that. The limit being your computer will get laggy and nearly unplayable, so you're in for a treat. I've also gone with a 4-block spacing for the sprinklers. It just seems like that's the more efficient approach. Here is the second. And I think that is realistically all the sprinklers we need. Going to the end of the field, they're spaced at 4 each. Every tile that isn't mined up and is water dirt right now should be a plantable tile. As for our last sprinkler, let's just for the heck of it, just slap it on right there. Reach those crops that previously weren't being watered. And there's our mega farm primed and ready to break the game. It's the dawn of a new day and the beginning of the end. So let's use this mega farm to its full capabilities, starting with seed production. I have a ton of tomatoes. I have an obscene amount of corn. So in order to get a plant in every single one of these tiles, it has to be one of those two. Bright side of the tomatoes is they mature faster in about a day, day and a half. Corn takes a bit longer, but to me is quite a bit more aesthetic. So we got 7,000 there. Let's just chop off a little bit of it. 1,914. I found that about 1,000 is the limit that you really want to push the planting to. So if we put this in the seed maker, it spits out a ton of seeds. Grab our nifty little basket. This one's a little bit full of carrots. Grab a random other basket, walk up to it in a relatively straight line, and then just spam click it so that all the seeds just drop into the basket right below you. Here is the last bit of the 1,000 seeds loaded on up. Now we just need to grab our hydrocropper, put down the planter. It stabilizes it a little bit and also gives me a platform to hop up back here, drop all the seeds in. Slight lag spike, but this is why there's a limit of 1,000 seeds. I accidentally put 2,000 in there once, and you just don't drive anywhere. Like you can see, it's already quite a bit slow, but we can work with this. Put down the tiller and the planter, and we can get to planting these seeds. Look at that glorious industry. I honestly wonder how far these 1,000 seeds are going to take us, because this is our finished crop plot. A little bit of a hazard there. Don't want to fall into the pit accidentally. And that is our first run through finished. Gonna go with our second pass. And it's kind of a race against time because, like I said, there's a limit on how much you can really plant. And you can see how my hydrocropper is starting to bounce. That's thanks to all these seeds start updating as they grow. So then it's just kind of like, oh, I don't like all those updates. And this is me attempting to go at full speed. Game is not happy. Oh, so you know what? Ah, that's actually a smart idea. They can't grow if I shut off their water. No more water for them. So we gained a few frames back. I just gotta wait for them to get dehydrated. While I wait for the frames to return, I can still make seeds for the next pass. So considering where this one stopped, I think we need about 3,000, 4,000-ish more seeds, which I don't mind getting because this is honestly never going to get old. I love the seed generation waterfall that makes. You know what? Let's get a little crazy. Let's try to plant 2,000 seeds at a time. I already have 1,000 here. Here's the other 1,000. Looks like one fell. We'll just put that right back in there. And we'll hope it works. So I think we can slide in here, start planting. Oh yeah, this was a good idea, turning off the water. Because yeah, that's the issue I was running into. Because if you have all the seeds down, it's not possible to actually run this. Surprisingly, it is faring quite well handling the 2,000 seeds. The key is honestly just choosing a straight path and not doing any turns once it's started. Because once you start trying to get fancy doing turns, you start clipping into the crops that are partly grown, and things never go good. We're getting that bunny hop kind of going again. More than enough seeds in the back though. Well, we got the break dancing going again. It's refusing to back up, so I'm going to try unstuck. Does that work any good? Oh, gee, wait, what? Are we clipped in the ground? Nah, it's just dancing. Okay, yeah, we are not able to move this, so... Oh, and that's a few frames. So against my better judgment, I'm going to let those also get to their dried out state and then try to plant the rest of this. Took all day, but I do see little bits turning. There it is. Yeah, I'm not going crazy. Sweet. Harvester, you can move now. Are we actually in the clear? Oh, there's a few hops. We got some speed. Actually can move backwards. Yes. I think we're good. I'm going to make sure that I line this up nice and straight because I won't get a second chance at this. Go! That is not bad at all. Seeds are evaporating from our back, but we'll have at least enough for this one stretch. Yes. Ooh, it's going to be close on the next one. Well, if I try to do it backwards, though, I'm already over here. If it's not lagging too much, can I get fully reversed? Yeah, I think we're good. Go! Send it! Oh, yeah. I think we can get this one stretch. It's going to be a little bit close because the width of this is not very wide. Seeds, don't fail me now. Oh, no, they're getting quite low. We might be able to do it. Oh, there's only a handful left. Oh, no, you gotta be kidding me. There's 3 packs. 1. No. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hand plant those. But this is already looking insane. I just need to make it through the lag, bring my basket filled with the seeds. Oh, not the save. Saves are always a lag spike. And we just have to try to fight through it, plant these last few ones. Last seed is going in, and I think we've done it. I'm going to take a full seed pack, see if there's any sparse spots that we might have missed. Because I did see a little straight stretch. Yeah, this straight stretch here. That would be real annoying if we just missed only one spot. So let's fill in this seam. And now we have officially done it. All the seeds are planted. The farm is massive. The seeds are now all dried out, ready to grow at the same rate. So, time to launch this nuke on my computer. We hope for the best. Oh, gee. The water is instantly updating all of them. Oh, that's not smooth movement, really. That was impressive. I didn't know that the water instantly updates them height-wise. Sprinklers are attempting to do their animation. Oh, geez, this is turning is not smooth. I don't even want to try walking because I want to stand on this platform so that I can observe them growing, and I am confident I won't be able to make it back up here. So you can see why I think this is the limit of as much croppage that you can get. Because with this, you can't really do anything but wait for them to grow. You know what? I'm not a coward. I'm going to try and walk, which I've already realized is a horrible idea. Walking is an interesting experience. You got to predict where you're going to go and assume that your movements will eventually kick in like 2 seconds later. Now, if I can try to maneuver my way up the platform. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. So I got to get a little bit of frontward velocity to land on the platform. Oh, barely made it. A little bit more. Oop, that's a lot bit more. Is this our spot? Oh yeah, look at that. This is where we will wait. So, see you in a bit. Looks like the corn is finally popping to life. So with that, the lag should be going down, and we'll know when the sprinklers stop looking like a slideshow and actually an animation. They're definitely gaining speed. How fluid is my movement? Okay, it's not that crazy delay anymore. They're definitely moving faster now. I think the worst is almost behind us. And we are fully back with all of our frames. Looks like in the back is the... Okay, well, not all of them, but I think only the back is left to grow. Well, actually, on the outside, yeah, it's just this little pocket here. And to get a better view, let's jump up here. Oh yeah, that is what we're talking about. Industry, corn, sprinklers working to their max capabilities. Enough time has passed to where I think all the corn is grown, so now time for the fun part of harvesting it. I still can't get over how insane this looks, which gives me a possibly bad idea. What does it look on the inside? And there's only one way to find out. Is if I walk in here, yeah, where am I? What? I'm lost in the cornfield. Oh, there's a dead spot. I can see up, okay, barely see up above, but we are horrendously lost if I just do a few turns. Okay, well, I can establish my spot vaguely, but we're quite lost. Oh, and stuck. For some reason, some of these you can't go through. I am not sure why. Oh no. Wait, no, they grew around me. Oh, okay, I broke free. Maybe. Yes, I'm free and I regret absolutely nothing. The corn is deadly, but the corn is also stonks. So that's enough messing around. Let's harvest this. Oh yeah, that is what we're talking about. Look at that corn going in. Oh, for some reason it's glitching into the ground. Oh, not the corn. Yeah, I am glitched into the ground. How did I manage that? What? How? This levitating corn is what did us in. I'm guessing since it was floating, it was also immovable, so it pushed the nose of the hydro cropper down. Back to harvesting. Oh, geez. Okay, I guess we need to take it a little bit slow. We can't just cruise through this. That doesn't make any sense. Why? Yeah. See, it's just kind of like, no, you will not go any further. But then we get certain good runs where it's just kind of like, yeah, you can just go blitzing through them. Oh, but then there's a piece of corn at my face. Oh, geez. We went sideways. How? What? The hydrocropper has a mind of its own. I am not even driving forwards. And we're in the pit. Oh, and we're right sided up. That was something. I'm just going to go straight in. I'm not worrying about trimming the edges. Oh, and that doesn't work any better. We're stuck. Oh, I guess I do need to be in harvest mode. Oh, that just makes us even more stuck. The corn's fighting back. No. Okay, well, if we just trying to go real slow. Barely moving forward. Oh, yeah, I think it's the levitating corn that's really doing us in. Yeah, I'm talking about you, little guy. Get out of there. Yeah, I don't think there's any good way to harvest the corn. At least not on this scale. Well, except for what I'm doing, or was doing there. Yeah, look at that. That was a good burst. So I guess I just kind of gotta surf above. Okay, I think what I'm doing is I'm riding high on the one side, and then I kind of surf above the corn so they can't shove me into the ground. And that was fairly decent. Doesn't look pretty. In for another one. Oh yeah, that works real good. So whenever we have just a strip that we're trying to go through, seems like it just eats through that compared to just a complete wall you're trying to harvest. How about this little stretch? So far so smooth. It's not fighting back too much. This is okay, yeah, this is satisfying. This is what it all should be like. Oh, yes. Even that wall at the end there. I bet this last stretch is going to be really good, though. It's not wide. It's a long stretch. This is what we've been waiting for. Okay, kind of working. Actually, not. There we go. Now we're in a groove. Oh, geez, corn's going everywhere. Some corn will be lost in this endeavor. It will be worth it. Oh, jeez. Look at all the go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The side view is even better. I just gotta go around, pick up the remaining scraps, because I'm curious how much this is all gonna fetch on the market. Because my goal was never really to sell crops for profit. It was just kind of to make a statement of, oh, here's this insanely huge farm, which apparently started breaking the game a little bit. And I just need to move it up here a little bit to have access to the conveyor that looks lined up. Do I have the corn empty? Yes. So now, send out the chute and unload all the crops. To no one's surprise, this took surprisingly long. In total, I planted around 3,000 seeds of corn, so I had to unload around 6,000 heads of corn since each plant produced around 2. At least we got a cool time lapse as we wait for it to unload. It may have taken 40 minutes, but we are finally unloaded, and I have no intent to ever do that again. Well, we all want to know, how much did we get in this single harvest? 9,107, so about a 3x profit increase, totaling about 145,000 coins. Yeah, I'd say we did pretty good. I never intend to plant stuff in there or chop it up into bits anymore, because that was excruciating. What I will be doing, though, is taking all this corn and bringing it into town to be sold. Before we head into town, are you ready for a fun trivia fact? How many sprinklers did I actually end up needing? Turns out it was 26, which means I spent a total of 54,600 tokens to get all of them. I'm glad I didn't do the math ahead of time. Anyway, let's go ruin the grocer's day by selling him an obscene amount of corn that he probably doesn't want. Hello, my good sir. I hope you are in the mood for some corn. Good, you are. I will take that. Helps us get a little bit out of debt. Still not a millionaire again, but nobody can say we didn't go overboard with our farming setup. The only thing that I could think we have left to do is to talk to the man who started this all. The man who was patient enough to wait for his tomato soup the entire time. Although I did accidentally delete his quest, I think it's only fitting if we give him a tomato soup on the house. Wait, where's he at? No, he's gotta be here somewhere. He's not at Ember's Cradle or the store. Hey, there he is. There's the lad. We found him. He's just chilling at the river. Good to see you, bud. I was worried for a second. He was a little bit older, so I was concerned maybe he didn't live to see the day that we prospered. But I have a delivery for you. I guess I'll let you glitch into my vehicle. You inspired us to make the biggest farm that we could. So here's a tomato soup on the house. Do with it what you want. I'll be on my way. Oh, and I flung him away. We're gonna leave before we make things worse. With all of our quests for world domination filled, it's time to shut this bad puppy down. We got some decent use out of it, and whoever wants to use it next can have it. But let's let my computer get a sigh of relief and not worry about calculating all those water droplets. As always, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all next time, which may or may not include crashing the economy one last time. I've done quite a bit in Hydroneer, and I think my journey has about come to an end. And the next video I'm real excited for. So, I'll see you there.